This is Andre Touchy-Feely. You're listening to the Verbal Scrap Podcast. Let's get weird.
This is the Shark, Anthony Avila. You're listening to Verbal Scrap.
This is Justin, the Raw Deal Basement. You're listening to Verbal Scrap.
This is Nan Fan, and you're listening to the Verbal Scrap Podcast. I'm a fighter. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to fight.
Hey, this is Dave Hirschbein, MMA Gold, and you're listening to the Verbal Scrap.
I've worked so hard to do what I got to do in here. I took so much blood for this sport. I took so much pain, everything for the sport.
Hey, y'all, this is Zeke Johnston. You're listening to SRMMA.com Verbal Scrap. Stay tuned. They got some good stuff coming up.
This segment is brought to you by Bill Smith Photography. You can find information on them, billsmithphoto.com, out of Roseville, California. Their number is 916-749-1026.
This is JW from SRMA.com. We're here with Thomas Smash Fallon, also growing as White Lightning around these parts. I wanted to talk a little bit more on the record about your weight cut. You had said your nutritionist was trying to tell you to keep your weight up a little bit because you've been cutting it so well. I mean, what's the danger/difficulty with cutting the weight too early, and how you feel you're doing as far as keeping the weight on until the fight?
Well, I wouldn't consider me cutting any weight. I've been dieting. Most guys will get to about 15 to 20 pounds within their weight class, and then they'll, really restrict their calories and barely eat any food and then sweat 20, 30 pounds of water out, and then that's when you see guys with granite chins in the gym get dropped with a jab in their fights. So I've been on weight for about 3 weeks now. I've been underweight, actually, and I've been trying to get up to about 207 because I've been waking up at about 203, which is good. The only thing is my guy will probably have 10, 15 pounds on me, which is fine. I'm used to being outweighed and outsized. The main difference in this fight will be my reach. I have the same reach as him, so I won't have to jump or run at him. I'll be able to just sit back and pick at him and have fun with it, So the weight cut, there will be no weight cut. I'll wake up, I'll eat breakfast, and then I'll go get on the scale. Simple as that. So
I was going to ask you about your stay in the light heavyweight division. You said, if you go out there and you handle business pretty quickly, that, you feel confident that you can stay in that division. But as far as light heavyweight is concerned, are you basing what you do in that division on this one fight, or do you have a plan for the future already?
Well, I don't see a reason to go back to heavyweight when I'm walking around at 200 pounds. And I don't really see a reason to go any lower. I'll stay here regardless of what happens. At this point, I'm content with any outcome in the fight, just due to the fact that I'm fully prepared. I've lived my life as clean as possible. I've done 2-a-days for the last 14 weeks. So no matter what happens, I feel as if I've already won. So there's no regrets, no excuses. No matter what happens, I feel like I'm a winner, not just in the cage, in the ring, but in life. So I feel as if no matter what happens, I win. Light heavyweight, heavyweight, middleweight, it doesn't matter where I'm at. As long as I'm happy and I'm following my dreams, that's all that matters.
Well, you recently got the new gym open. Tell us more information, how people can get involved with you guys and what you're doing out there.
Well, my thing was I needed a key to a place that I can train at any time. My schedule is a little funny. I work graveyard shift, and I run kids' classes and women's classes and stuff like that. So I'm not really trying to open a gym and compete with these other gyms. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to keep my group of friends together, along with bringing in other guys from around Sacramento area to cross-train with us. Guys like Fluffy, he's a good friend of mine, Max Griffin, of course, Dave Huckabee, Josh Apelt, Johnny Merez, my young guys, Billy Carruthers, Justin Ford. All those guys, they work with me because we get along and we have fun. It's a good environment. Now, we also enjoy going to big gyms like this, Folsom MMA. We'd love to be at Uriah Faber's gym. We're not against these big gyms. We're just from a different kind of cloth. We like to stay together. We're very loyal, but at the same time, we like to cross-train. Johnny Merez trains at different gyms. Billy Carruthers trains with different teams. A lot of my guys train different places, but we all meet up a couple times a week and we work together. So, for us, it's more of a family than a team or a gym thing. It's just a place for us to hook up and have fun. That's about it.
Well, as you've seen, at media days and throughout the recent signings that people have come from West Coast and gone to bigger, better things, what does it mean to you to have that West Coast amateur title still? And in the future, what do you intend on doing as far as defending that, or are you looking to stay active with West Coast?
Oh, I want to get back with West Coast as soon as possible. I'll probably take a little bit of time off after this next fight work on my gym, work on my kids' class, try and promote a little bit, and also work on my strength. Now that I'm lighter, I feel like I could put maybe 3 or 4 pounds of muscle on over the next year, not over the next month. No needles in my butt here, So it'll take me a few years to put on, 5 pounds of muscle or so. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the long haul on things. I'm not into rushing things. So I'm ready to go. And yeah, I love West Coast. I'll stay with West Coast until I can move on to a bigger show. But honestly, I feel you make more money being a local star than moving on to the bigger shows and being a nobody. So I'd like to be a local star before I move on. I want to live in the shadow of Huckabee and Apeld and guys like Max Griffin, and I want to follow their lead and their example and do what they did, not just as well, but even better.
Well, you're going to be competing coming up really soon. I think it's only like a week away now. I wanted to ask you, you said you had the power, the quickness that you still had at a bigger weight. Now you're just feeling a lot better, more flexible. Have you really been able to work out enough to assert that you're going to be able to keep that into later rounds? Are you aware that, you can take that deeper, or do you feel like you just have that right away still, but you haven't yet to test that?
I love the late rounds, It's always good to get a quick finish, but I really get my timing down in the second and third round, and that's when I land everything I throw. If you ask about me, guys will say that I'm really efficient. I do not miss shots, mostly because I don't waste any energy. If I'm going to throw something, I know with all my heart that I'm going to land it. So, the cardio is not an issue. There's different kinds of cardio. There's kickboxing cardio. There's wrestling conditioning. So it depends where the fight goes. But either way, I'm ready. I've been doing 2-a-days for 14 weeks. I'm injury-free, and I could go 5-5s, so let alone 3-2s. So, but the 2-minute rounds are a way faster pace. You don't really have to pace yourself. You just go balls to the wall from the jump. So the amateur fights are a little more intense, I think, than the pro fights. Guys tend to set a slow pace.
Well, you're going to be competing October 18th, badge versus badge. October 19th, badge versus badge. I wanted to give you a chance to give thanks and shout-outs that you haven't been able to give yet. I know you had a ton for me in the article. I tried my best to get them in.
Oh, you got it.
But anybody else that you want to give some love to?
SR MMA, comprehensive combat coverage. Johnny, while you've always been there for me, you've always hyped me up, not just me, all my guys, and all the local guys, and even guys out of state. So you do a great job, and you show us a lot of love. That's why I like to show you the love back.
It's appreciated, I promise.
My wife, of course, my dad, he's healthy now. He's excited to watch me fight. All my teammates, all my coaches from past, present, and future, and every organization out here who supports our fighters. So, the whole fight community deserves a thank you. So, without us fighters, there's no fights, and without the promoters, there's no cards. So we have to do it together. We're all a team here, promoters, fighters, gyms. Even if we fight each other, we're all in the same game here. So,
badgeversusbadge.com for more.